Shadow Clan, Shadow What If here to bring you part 4 to What If Female Deku was a todoroki. Now, we left off after the heroes versus villains. Now we get to USJ when Class 1A are hopping on a... Sorry about that. We get to UA when Class 1A are hopping on a bus to go somewhere. This is when, well, Momo asks, "Where are we going, Mr. Aizawa?" Mr. Aizawa just replies, "We're going to the USJ for some rescue training." As everyone gets excited and enjoys the bus ride to the USJ. Yeah. As when we get there, they walk in, C13. Iwaka's still fangirls like crazy. And this is when the portals open up. As villains walked out from them, as Kirishima said, "They even have fake villains here, cool." Cool in a very excited voice as Mr. Aizawa turns around and says, those aren't fake villains, kids. They're real villains." As they all go, "What?" As well, Mr. Aizawa tells 13 to protect the kids, while he faces the whole horde. Now the kids do get... Now everything goes as canon. Ida runs to get help, and the students are split up within the USJ. And this is when we get to Bakugo and Izuna in the city part of the USJ. As well, Bakugo's being Bakugo, as Izuna says, "Quiet, Blasty, we need to find the others." As Bakugo just looks at her saying, "What did you call me?" As she just looks back at him saying, "Blasty, I called you Blasty. Is that a problem, Blasty?" As he's just pissed at this, and walks off in a random direction to try to find the others. Blushing while he does so, Izuna follows, and before long, they find Denki and Kirishima. As well, 2 by 2s, they start finding the others. By this point, they see the Nomu beating on Mr. Aizawa. As well. Shota uses her ice to knock the Nomu off Mr. Aizawa. This is when the Nomu just looks back at them and charges. As well, Shota and Izuna start double teaming the Nomu, and it's actually working. And they're actually doing some decent damage to the Nomu. Which is when Izuna notices that its healing, speed and strength is doubling. Which is then it clicks. Both of its quirks go hand in hand. As she stops Shota from attacking and says, "I'm guessing this thing was made to kill All Might." Shota looks at Izuna saying, "What do you mean? Haven't you noticed? every time it heals, its strength, speed, and its own healing doubles. It increases. Which is when it clicks in Shota's head. The Nomu's unkillable. Unless, as Izuna says that, and Shota looks at her saying, unless we completely incinerate it. As well, Izuna turns to her saying, "Buy me time. I'm gonna need to build up a new technique." So she just says, "Okay," and starts rushing the Nomu solo. As all of 1A runs to Izuna, seeing if she's okay, and she explains to him that the only way to beat that thing is to completely and utterly incinerate it, making sure it cannot regenerate. As well, then Bakugo says, "Come on, guys, we need to buy Izuna some time." As well, everyone's looking at Bakugo very surprised, as he then says, "Izuna's our best shot at completely incinerating that thing, so we need to buy her time to build up her ultimate move." As well, they all start teaming Nomu with some very bad tag team, but they quickly adapt to fighting the Nomu, as it's a pretty even fight. As well, this is when Bakugo uses his Hauser Impact. Yes, because of 1-4, he can use Hauser Impact without his gauntlets. And that blows the Nomu's arm off and completely stun it. At this time, Izuna yells, "Move!" as they all look to see a giant ball of fire right in front of her. As it's double the size of the ball, she uses the entrance exam to obliterate the 0-pointer. Which is, then she says, "Ultimate Incinerator Cannon!" And she punches the orb. It goes from an orb to a very straight line that covers the Nomu. And all of that heat, all at once, completely incinerates the Nomu. And by the end of the attack, Izuna just drops because that move takes a lot of energy from her. As this when All Might steps in and takes out the rest of the villains. Shigaraki and Kyogiri do escape with some of the villains, as All Might noticed Izuna tired, as he asks what's wrong, as As Bakugo just says, she's fine, it's just that she's tired from a move she had to perform. I was almost relieved by this, seeing that she's 100% okay. As well, we skip to a few weeks later when everyone's getting settled into their dorms after the USJ incident. And well, yeah. They were given a few days to settle into their dorms. So the girls decide to have a sleepover in Momo's room. As well, they all hang out, they play a few games, watch a few movies. Which is when they start playing Truth or Dare. And it goes pretty normal until it gets to Izuna. As well, Mina asks Izuna, truth or dare? As Izuna says, truth. As Mina smiles and says, Izuna, do you have a crush? As Izuna blushes at this and says, dare, I want to dare. As Momo says, no, you chose truth, so you have to answer. As Izuna just sighs, saying, yes, I have a crush. As this surprises Shoto that... No, not Shoto, Shota. Damn, I am a forgetful boy. As well, that she never thought her best friend would have a crush. As well, it gets back to Izuna after Momo, as Momo asks Izuna, truth or dare? As Izuna just says, truth. Izuna says dare. As Mina gets upset, saying, "Aw, I was hoping you'd choose so you'd be able to find out your crush." As Izuna just says, "Nope, I am too smart for that." Which is when Momo gets a fantastic idea. As Momo says, I dare you to go confess to your crush. As this shocks Izuna, especially coming from Momo, as she's blushing hardly at this, saying, what? No, I'm not doing that. I'd rather jump off the roof. As Momo says, if you go confess to your crush, I'll confess to mine. As everyone says, what? You have a crush, Momo? Momo shakes her head saying, yes, I have a crush. Izuna, having a rough idea who it is, says, fine. As the girls follow her, as she stops in front of, as they see her stop in front of the door, and they're surprised and they're shocked to see that it's Bakugo's door. As she knocks on the door, and Bakugo came out saying, "What the hell do you want?" As blushing still, Izuna says, I love you, Bakugo Katsuki. As Mina says, what? Blasty and her? As Bakugo's just blushing as hell. saying, what? As Izuna just covers her face, saying, I didn't even want to do this. It was a dare. It was a dare from the game, Truth or Dare. As this shocks Bakugo even more. As Bakugo just simply says, I love you too, Izuna Rosefield. As this just shocks her. As other girls say, aww. As both Izuna and Bakugo look at the girl's direction, and Izuna had no idea they were following her. So well, they both blush hard. Bakugo just locks himself in his room and well. Izuna, still blushing, looks like all the girls, activates her fire and says, I'm gonna kill all of you! And starts running at them. All the girls just start running back to Momo's room and try to barricade themselves. As we skip to the next day, now before class, Bakugo pulls Izuna aside. Asking, is it true what you said last night? As Izuna blushes at this, saying, yes, I do love you, Bakugo. As Bakugo's blushing again and then kisses Izuna. Yes. As shocked at first, Izuna just naturally melts into the kiss. This is when they both see a camera flash. Well, two camera flashes. One from Kirishima and one from Mina. As Mina says, "Aw, this is gonna make a good picture." As, again, angry, Izuna chases Mina with the intent to kill her. Bakugo starts chasing Kirishima, hoping to explode him, but Kirishima and his quirk that, you can't hurt Kirishima. But we go back to Izuna and Mina hides behind Shota saying, "Help me!" As Momo was there and she asks, what's going on? As Mina shows the picture of Izuna and Bakugo kissing to both of them, as they both find it cute. This is when they both see Izuna and hear her say, "Move, I need to kill Pinky." As Shota says, "Aw, you and Bakugo kiss, that's cute." As Izuna just looks cynically at Shota saying, "I'll kill you too." As Shota just says, "I have ice, remember? Your fire can't do shit to me." Yeah, other than that, the day goes pretty normal. And, well, we skip to the end of the day when Shota, Momo, and Izuna are hanging out. As Izuna says, "Oh, that's right. You have to confess to your you have to confess to your crush, Momo. From your promise from last night, remember?" Momo says, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." As Momo turns to Shota and confesses to Shota. As Shota is shocked at first, but then confesses to Momo. They kiss, and Izuna takes a pic and is about to send it to all the girls, but Momo and Shota grab her phone. Now they wrestle for the phone for a while. Izuna finally gets the phone and sends it to all the girls. As all the girls come rushing in, saying all at once, "You're both gay?" As Izuna says, I called it. As Mina says, "Wait, you knew?" As Izuna turns to Mina saying, "Wasn't it obvious, Pinky?" As well, yeah. All the girls hang out all night to discuss the relationship between Momo and Shota and Izuna and Bakugo. Now, the boys are doing like the exact same thing that Bakugo, because Kirishima told everyone that Bakugo and Izuna were dating. And this annoyed Bakugo, but he couldn't get rid of him no matter how hard he tried. As well, I'm gonna end it here. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. And before I end it, the reason I do a lot of female deku what ifs, is because it gives me more creativity to play with. It just does. And peace.